Hi guys, I am so excited today. Welcome to my Facebook Live series on the virus of anxiety. I have a very special guest. My dear friend Ioanna is joining us all the way from Athens, Greece. Ioanna and I met in January at a ThetaHealing instructors training that she was actually hosting. Ioanna is a master Theta healer. She's somebody I admire and respect tremendously. She has created amazing practice that I've had the incredible value and joy to be able to benefit from. And Joanna and I have been connecting a lot lately, and we were talking about anxiety, and Ioanna happened to mention that she had some experience with Ioanna. So she had some experience with anxiety. And so I said, you know what? Why don't you come be on my show? And she said, great, let's do it. So my friends, I want to introduce you to my dear friend, Ioanna. Give her a huge round of applause.
Hi guys, thank you, Daniel. Thank you.
So much for being here. What time is it in Greece right now? Like 6?
Right now it's 6 p.m.
6 p.m. So
6 p.m.
I was going to say kalimera, but kalimera is good morning, right?
Yes.
How do I say good evening in Greek?
Kalispera.
Kalispera.
Kalispera, yes.
Kalispera. Kalispera to you.
Good morning to you guys.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy that you're here. Thanks for taking the time to be a part of this and really help people out. You know, one of the things that you had shared with me, I guess it kind of took me by surprise a little bit, because I wasn't, you know, you and I are so much alike in so many ways. You know, we're new friends, but I'm learning so much about you, and I'm seeing how alike we are, right?
Yeah.
And I think I've shared with everyone on here, you know, I don't really have so much I don't have so much experience with anxiety. I'm not an anxious person. I don't have panic attacks a lot. I think I had like one moment. I was talking to my friend who I believe is actually here watching with us, who does have anxiety and who does suffer from panic attacks. And I was trying to find a moment when I could relate to that feeling. And I found a moment last year that I had like a fit of anxiety or panic maybe for a day. And she's actually the one that helped me through it. I'm usually the one that helps her through it. She was the one that helped me through it. And when you had shared with me that you had your own experience with it,
yes,
I was, for lack of a better term, a little shocked, right? Because I thought, oh, here's Ioanna. She's a healthy, balanced healer like me, you know, but she has this. So I wanted to invite you on because I want you to talk about your experience, and then we'll talk about anxiety, what it means, and then we'll give people some tools today that they can apply to their life instantly to help anxiety and panic. And then, as always, we're going to do a meditation because that's what we do here.
Of course. And it's so
my friend's
cool.
really excited that Ioanna is going to actually participate in the meditation today too, because she is a master and I am learning from her. So
we are all learning.
Yeah, we
still.
are. We are. Exactly.
We're all the masters and all the students.
Yeah, always, all the time.
Yes. So I used to have a lot of anxiety in the past.
Yeah.
So I went through some anxiety attacks out of the blue. And this took me to a journey of knowing myself better and knowing my body better. So what triggered the whole situation with anxiety was that I was working too hard, too much, too long.
You sound like an American.
I know. But I think people all over the world work too much, too long, and too hard. So yeah, in Greece, we also work very, very hard in many areas. So I never put a boundary on myself, like, okay, this is enough, go
Right.
rest or go relax or have some fun. It was
Right.
all about work, 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 little workaholic. And then I collapsed. So what I found out is that I had something very similar to what we could call an adrenal fatigue.
Okay.
And when this happened, I did not have any control over what was going on in my body. So
That's also, if I remember correctly, that is an overabundance of cortisol in the body, right?
yes.
Adrenal fatigue is usually a result of an overabundance of cortisol, and cortisol is it's like the body's own numbing agent.
Mm-hmm.
So it comes to actually aid us and help us, but too much of it almost shuts us down. Correct?
It's also very known as the stress hormone,
Right.
cortisol.
Right. Exactly.
So I could see the abundance of cortisol also on my body physically because it shows around the belly area,
Okay.
especially in women.
Like meaning that you retain
Yes. Yes.
retain water and what have you around that area. Interesting.
Yes.
I never knew that. Okay. I wonder if that's why a lot of issues related to weight are actually really, really related to stress. You know what I mean?
Exactly. They are. They are actually.
Right.
So my thyroid was also suffering,
Sure.
and this was not helping me, especially with my mood, because there were days where I was super excited about life and happy, and there were days I would just wake up and say, okay, I don't need to get out of bed today.
Right.
And I went to see a few doctors. I was doing some blood tests, but no one really knew how to help me. So I started searching on the internet, I started reading books, and I worked, of course, on my beliefs and my emotions,
Right.
like every good Theta healer does. every Theta healer that respects themselves.
Right.
Let's put it that way.
Exactly.
And I found out more about myself. I found out also that a lot of my clients were dealing with same kind of issues. If not exactly the same, they were very similar. And I also discovered that we live in an age where fictional threats are more common than actual threats.
Yeah, you said that to me the other day, and I found it so powerful and profound.
Yes.
Can you just say it again? Fictional threats?
Yes. Fictional threats are more common than actual threats.
Than actual threats. So will you identify the difference between an actual threat and a fictional threat?
Of course. Of course. A fictional threat would be, I'm stuck in traffic.
Right.
An actual threat would be, I have a lion in front of me.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Okay. So you see a lion in front of you, that's a good reason to freak out. Or a good reason to have a spike or a fear, right?
Exactly.
Sitting in traffic, what you're saying is sitting in traffic is a choice whether you get to how you're going to deal with that fear.
Yes.
Right.
Whether you're going to stress out or not.
Right.
You know, a lot of people I know personally know they stress out when they are stuck in traffic.
Right. Of course. Totally.
For me, it's like, okay, I'll put on some music.
Yeah.
And I'll have fun. But for others, it's like, I'm going to die.
Yeah. Can you imagine? So that's the metaphor of being stuck in a car for 2 hours, trying to get someplace. Can you imagine how people are feeling right now, stuck in their apartments? Those same people who are like freak out when they're in traffic. Can you imagine how they're feeling right now? Like, when am I going to get out of this apartment?
I'm pretty sure that a lot of people are having an issue dealing with it.
So what helped you?
How did I deal with it? What I did is I started experimenting with different things to see what would help me. So I started using meditation, breath work, exercising, but more in let's say yoga and Tai Chi style exercise.
Right. So more calming.
More calming, yes, because I didn't want to produce more cortisol.
Right.
I had enough of that.
Yeah, more adrenaline.
No more adrenaline. Like I really needed to relax and calm my whole system down, because you also know about the nervous system and the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system and what happens there. Like our sympathetic nervous system is the one that keeps us in this mode of watchfulness. Like
Right.
we are alert to any kind of danger around us or
Right.
to any kind of threat. So our system is working very intensively. We produce a lot of adrenaline.
Right.
The parasympathetic nervous system does exactly the opposite. It prepares us to relax or even to go to sleep.
Right.
When it's night. So I wanted really to calm myself more than to make things worse for me.
Right.
I also found that avoiding some foods was very useful in this whole procedure. So I also did a diet without any kind of wheat or sugar for 4 or 5 months.
Wow.
And I've been also
from that
yes,
choice.
Yes.
Huh.
It was, I couldn't believe the difference.
Wow.
And I was avoiding not only wheat, but also rice, quinoa, anything in that area. And
like,
also...
would that be considered like gluten? Is that...
You could say, but quinoa normally doesn't have gluten, but I also avoided that. So, and with sugar, I avoided anything sweet, like even honey, which worked really good for me and for especially on the mood and everything.
Have you been able to, do you still keep that diet, or have you been able to integrate some of those things back into your daily life?
I've been able to integrate some of them into my daily life, but I've gone more to a vegan diet in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, that's great.
So I enjoy that a lot.
Do you feel like that also contributes to your, I'll say, for your mood and your overall well-being?
Yes, definitely. It works very well for me because it's also very good for my blood type.
Yeah. And you know what else? I am also a vegetarian. I'm going to say primarily vegetarian. There are some times when I do eat meat, but very, very rarely. But one of the things that, the reasons that I stopped eating meat was that, and I had no idea until I really became more aware and more conscious, but I was picking up the energy of the meat I was eating, right? So I love steak. Like I love red meat, like I love hamburgers and steak, like a good American boy. And I was noticing that I was taking on the anger. I would find myself taking on the anger, not understanding why I was angry. But when I would eat meat, it would show up. So once I stopped and I cut meat out of my diet, it changed my mood. Oh my God, exponentially. And I'll notice it now, but I play a game that we learn in Access Consciousness. Who does this belong to? Right. When I really, really am craving a hamburger and I don't want to get angry, I just say, who does this belong to? Who does this belong to? Who does this belong to? But it's true. You know, what we consume and what we eat contributes to our well-being and our stress and our anxiety, right?
Yes, that's very true. And there are a lot of people that should eat meat.
Right. Absolutely.
Based on their whole system and on their blood type.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
it's not about only the philosophy. You really need to know
What's best for you.
What's best for you.
Yeah, exactly. That's why, you know, I say I'm predominantly a vegetarian, but there are some times that my body just craves, whether it's the iron or whether it's the protein or whatever, and I allow myself to have it, you know?
Yeah, and that's what I called intuitive eating.
Yeah. So I want to go back to this thing that you had touched on and that we spoke on briefly about choices. Right?
Yes.
So let's talk about it. Like, how do I make a choice? Let's just use the example that you gave of sitting in traffic right? as a fictional fear, right?
Yes.
I love that term, by the way. So if I'm sitting in traffic and I have a fictional fear, begins to cause me anxiety, what do you suggest? What are some tools that I can use to choose to get out of that? Actually, let's relate it to what people are going through now. I'm stuck in my apartment.
Yes.
And I have a choice, right? My choice is either to go down the road of stress and anxiety or what? What's my other choice?
So, yeah, we have many choices, actually. And that's a good thing that we have many choices.
Yes.
One thing anyone could do is do some focus on their breathing.
Nice.
And really breathe very deep.
Right. That's something you can do immediately too. You know, last week on the show, Mia Moore, my dear friend psychologist, gave everybody an awesome breathing tool. I don't remember the numbers. It's like 7, 4, 8 or something. Go back and watch the episode because it was really, really good. But it was a yoga breathing. Actually, it reminds me too of something that I found yesterday, if I may just share really quickly, about the yogis, right? I watched this video on YouTube about this yogi who one of his students had come to him and said, hey, what's the difference between yoga and meditation, right? And the yogi said, well, in yoga, it's called pranayama. Yvette just pointed it out. It's 4-7-8, the 4-7-8 breathing. Thank you, Yvette.
Perfect.
Exactly. So his student came to him and said, well, what's the difference between yoga and meditation? And the teacher said, well, you know, in yoga, we have what's called pranayama. Pranayama is yogic breathing, which is the first thing you learn when you begin studying yoga. You have to be connected to your breath so that then you can get into the asanas and the poses and all of this, right? But
exactly,
importantly is the breath. And he said that the reason is really that the pranayama and the yoga prepare you truthfully for meditation. Okay?
Yeah.
So in that field, they're saying you don't just go to meditation. You have to incorporate the breathing aspect to bring you present, to allow yourself to fall into it. Right?
Yes.
So
yes, that's so true.
Yeah. Amazing. So let's get busy. Let's put it into practice, shall we?
Let's get busy. Yes, of course. And maybe it's worthwhile mentioning that when we focus on our breath, we stop thinking.
Yes, exactly. Because we're focusing on our breathing.
Exactly. So we stop thinking.
Yeah. You know, I practice a type of body energy work that's actually rooted in the Tao. And one of the things that they talk about all the time is that when we're in anxiety or stress or whatever, all of our energy is here. So our head is very hot.
Yeah.
But our core, our danjan, as it's called in Chinese or Korean, is our second chakra, which is our sacral chakra. And our sacral chakra, which is governing our digestive system, our the way that we produce things, the way that we release things, and energetically our power. So if we're only focused here, we're giving our power away. if we focus our power here, we're holding on to it. So in the body energy work that I do, they say, imagine cold, warm. When you're stuck in anxiety, it's hot, cold.
Yes.
So when it's hot, cold, your digestive system is not working. Right? So that's why a lot of people who have anxiety or stress or whatever have a hard time with their stomach and digestion. So what they always said in the meditation is water up to cool down, fire down. Right? So water up, fire down, water up, fire down. And you visualize the heat from your head, fire down to your core, which is where your belly button is. Water up, fire down, water up, fire down, water up.
Wow.
I use this all the time. And then the next level, which maybe we can invite you back to talk, we can talk about EFT, the whole idea of tapping, right?
Yes.
And in the body energy work system that I do, one of the ways that we get the energy from here to here is through tapping. And so we do this process of tapping on the chakras. So we've given you guys a lot of tools. Now let's put it into practice and let's sink it all into a meditation. Shall we, Joanna?
Of course, of course.
So just to remind everyone, the kind of meditation that we're going to do is called a Theta Healing meditation. Theta Healing is a modality that was created by Ioanna and my teacher, Ioanna. It is a modality in which she discovered that it was downloaded from the creator of all that is. And she discovered that it was our subconscious beliefs that are actually fueling the energy that are creating our reality, right? So we live in a paradigm where it's like consciousness creates our reality, consciousness creates our reality, consciousness creates our reality, which is awesome. But if we have a conscious thought that we desire something, but our subconscious thought is that we're not worthy of it, we'll never manifest it, okay?
Yes.
You might manifest a variation thereof or something else, but it's never truly what we want or what we desire. So what we do in the theta healing meditation is that we awaken, we go into a theta brainwave, and then intuitively we begin to pull different limiting beliefs and replace them with downloads, which are packets of energy from the universe that are instantly there to support you. Okay, so that's what the theta healing technique is. If you want to learn more about theta healing, or if you'd like to take a theta healing class, you can reach out to myself, or you can also, if you're in Europe, reach out to Ioanna and Pan. They run the Theta Healing Europe. And
no. There's no Theta Healing.
No Theta Healing Europe.
No. So we have an office in Athens. That's it.
An office and a classroom.
Yes.
Yes. So they do that, and there are many, many ways to learn more about Theta Healing. If you want to know where a class is close to you, you can visit the website, which is thetahealing.com. Okay, so to give you a taste of Theta Healing, let's go ahead and dive in, shall we, Joanna?
Yes, of course. I'm ready.
Fun. As Ioanna always says, let's play.
Let's play. Let's have some fun.
Okay, so let's begin by uncrossing our arms and our legs. And let's close our eyes. And speaking of breathing, let's just turn our awareness to our breath. Let's take 3 deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose and out through the mouth. And one more. In through the nose and out through the mouth. And as you continue to breathe, just imagine yourself, every inhale that you take, you're inhaling pure light, pure restoration. And when you exhale, every exhale you make, you're releasing toxins in your body, you're releasing stress, you're releasing anxiety. So as you have that awareness of your breath, let's turn our attention to our heart. I want you to imagine that there's this spark of light in your heart. And that spark of light is a molecule that has been with you since the beginning of time. as you focus your attention on that spark of light, that molecule, it begins to grow bigger and bigger. You begin to feel that love and that care and that support. And as you keep focusing your energy, that ball of light begins to grow bigger and bigger and bigger until it expands out and encapsulates your entire being. Now I want you to imagine that the ball of light extends to your chair, to your desk, the room that you're in. And you can see all of these atoms and molecules just interacting and mixing with each other. And we expand out even further and further beyond the room, into the building or the home or the house that we're in. We keep going beyond that to our town, our neighborhood. And finally, our ball of light extends to the city that we're in, but continues to expand out into the state or the province, and eventually the country that we're in. And our ball of light continues to grow and grow and grow, and as it does, it picks up momentum and speed, and begins to take on the continent that we're in, and the bodies of water that are around the continent. And our ball of light expands further and further and further beyond that, until suddenly our entire ball of light becomes one with the whole world. Every atom and molecule, every organism, every person, every place, every location. Our ball of light, we are one with everything in the world. But we want to expand even further than that into space, become one with different planets and galaxies in the Milky Way, and extend further and further and further beyond that even, until we extend out beyond the physical realm of this physical universe and into different planes of existence. Immediately you feel an immersion with these different lights, some light, some dark. You feel it. You feel it, and you keep pushing through it and go out further and further and further and further and further until you come to a beautiful, beautiful golden-like layer. And you extend into the golden-like layer. You feel its warmth, recognizing that you are one with that layer as well. And you extend out beyond that further and further and further until you come to a jelly-like substance layer that almost feels like liquid, like you're in the deep end of a pool. You feel that palpable energy, but you expand out even further and further and further beyond that until you see this beautiful, beautiful pink haze. And this beautiful pink haze is the law of compassion. And as you extend into the law of compassion, you feel that energy in every atom and every molecule of your being. And that energy of compassion propels us even further and further and further into what is called the seventh plane of all that is. And this beautiful pearly-like essence surrounds us and becomes one with us. And we even go deeper and deeper into that seventh plane energy, and you can feel the tingling sensation immediately all over your body, from the crown, from the tip of your head to the bottom of your toes. Take a second to allow that tingling sensation to heal you all over. And it's from this place that I just want you to sit here and relax a little. And Joanna and I are going to have the benefit of channeling some downloads and some energy for you. So would you like to know what it feels like to stay grounded in all that you do, in everything that you are, in every situation? And when we say these downloads, all you have to do is say yes to receive them, okay? Would you like to know how to stay present in the moment, and how to feel your feet firmly on the ground at all times? Would Would you like to know how to stay connected to this physical realm, but know that you are connected to all of the realms and all of the dimensions at the same time? Would you like to know what it feels like to be one with all of those energies and all of those vibrations? Would you like to know that you are not separate from any of them, but that you are one with them? Would you like to know the Creator's definition of unity and what it means to be unified, even in times that we're living in where we feel so disconnected? So would you like to channel that energy of unity? Unity with your fellow man, with your family, with your friends, with everyone. Unity with the planes of existence, and unity with your angels and your guides, and unity with the cells and organisms in your body. Joanna, would you like to add something?
Yes, I would like to add a few. Would you like to know what it feels like to know the difference between an unreal threat and a real threat?
Yes.
And would you like to know that you can trust your own body, that it will keep you safe whenever you face a real threat?
Yes.
You can trust your body to relax whenever there is a unrealistic threat.
Yes.
Would you like to know that time is your friend and not your enemy?
Yes.
And would you like to know what it feels like that time is your friend and not your enemy?
Yes.
And that it's safe and possible to always create more time for yourself.
Yes.
Would you also like to know that you always have a choice?
Yes.
And would you like to know what it feels like to always have a choice?
Yes.
Okay.
Amazing. So now let's take a second to return to that beautiful seventh plane energy. And last but not least, we always like to finish with downloads of unconditional love. Would you like to know what it feels like to feel unconditional love in every cell of your body, and know that you are worthy of unconditional love? And would you like the Creator's definition of unconditional love?
Yes.
And something coming up for me about strength. So we also want to download you guys that you know what it feels like and that you have the virtue of strength. Sometimes it takes strength to choose, right? So
yes, exactly.
We want to know how to choose. So if you would like to know how to choose strength, how to channel strength to choose, that you have the strength to choose.
Yes.
Yes. Amazing. Oh, I got tingles all over my body. Great. So let's return to that place of the seventh plane. If your awareness is shifted, return to that pearly-like essence where you have that energy all over your body. Stay there, stay there, stay there. Feel it. Now let's take 3 deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose and out through the mouth. And now let's put our palms together and rub our palms together really, really fast and generate some heat. Feel that heat generating. Feel it getting warmer and warmer and warmer and warmer and warmer and warmer and faster and faster and faster and faster and faster. And then when you do put your hands over your eyes, as the eyes are the windows to the soul. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes so that you can feel that energy and that warmth penetrating your whole soul. Ioanna,
that was
so much.
Fantastic.
It was beautiful. It was so beautiful. And it was so beautiful to share that energy with you. And
Thank you.
to do it together. So I just want to say a couple of things to people. You know, I have had the multiple opportunities and multiple blessings to be able to work with Ioanna one-on-one. And she's like I said earlier, she's a master. And if you'd like to connect with her, just drop her a note. Everybody who's watching this, I think, is watching on Facebook, so they could reach you on Facebook, right?
Yes, yes, exactly.
Ioanna, she does private sessions over Zoom or Skype or any modality, right?
Yeah, any way where we can have a video call works for me.
Yeah, and I highly recommend her.
Thank you, Daniel.
Of course,
You're so sweet.
So much. Thank you. You're so sweet. You are so sweet. And thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of it. Thank you to everyone. All of our friends were here. Marita is in Finland. Pan is probably in the other room. Pan is Joanne's mate. He's probably in the other room, right? Watching from the other room.
He's at home. I'm at the office.
You're at the office.
Yes.
Maria is here from the UK. We have people from all over the world. Luca.
Hi.
York. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Bernice is in the Hamptons. Bernice is my friend who I was telling you that talked me off of a ledge last year.
Okay.
So, earlier.
Yes, I remember.
So thank you guys all for joining. Thank you for contributing your energy. We love you. Thank you for your support.
Thank you.
And Ioanna, let's do it again. Let's do more of these.
Of course. Right? Whenever you like, I'm here. I'm available.
That.
Let's do some magic.
Always. Let's create some magic and let's play.
Of course. Of course.
Thank you. I love you so much.
Thank you so much.
To you.
I love you too.
And we'll be in touch.
Okay? Of course.
Bye, guys. Have an amazing day.
Bye-bye.